The first time, I think we took a bullock cart. That was the only conveyance to the ashram. And when we came, I think Bhagavan was standing at the tree there, the elephant tree, Ilpamaram, there. And we all fell at his feet. And that is my only recollection of the first trip. When Bhagavan was in the old hall, you see, even now there is a window where the couch is placed. If you have been there, you have noticed there, next to the couch, there is a window. The window used to be open in those days. Now, I think it is kept closed. And of course, that was the only place where you could sit. We were on the floor, and the squirrels, they were not pet squirrels or anything. They would just come. And 3 or 4 of them at the same time come in and make noise. And Bhagavan always used to have a can of peanuts or some nuts he used to have with him there. And these squirrels will come inside as though they knew him so well. And you know how he used to just give it, and they used to take it from his hand. I mean, it was amazing. You just keep it like this, or each one he will give, and they will take it and go. 3 or 4, not one at a time. Quite a few will come. And not only that, the thing was most amazing for me was that some of them, just used to climb and run on him as though he was a wall or something. Really, nothing would. I mean, he would show no sign of being affected by the running of the squirrels on top of his body. They used to, I had seen it in my own eyes. I mean, one will be coming up and going down like this, and the other, of course, he was reclining. So it is all on the front of his chest. One would be on his right arm, the other on the left, and they come down on his chest. I mean, this was something which it makes you squirm. At least it makes me squirm. Think that those animals were running on his chest. And once I remember, you see, there were so many of them, and he was feeding them. Then the nuts were over. So they were looking like this. The squirrels came, looked up like this and that. Then he said, "Ennada pandada, aachida, aayuthida." He said, "It is over. What can I do? I don't have it." Then immediately the attendant went and he got some more. But anyway, the way he said it, as if you tell a little child, "Aayuthada, ennada pannuve." அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி he said, "Aachida, aayuthida." One other thing I remember is in the same old hall, actually there is a stool kept below his couch so that people can put their offerings there. And one day somebody brought some bunch of bananas and left it there. And I was sitting close by near the door. And suddenly a monkey, of course monkeys had free run of the place. So one monkey came running in, whatever, and took away the bunch of mangoes and went away. Then the attendant who was there, he said, "Shoo, shoo," he tried to stop it. Of course, it had gone off. And then Bhagavan very smiled and he said, "Ava வேலையை சரியா பண்ணா சரியா இருக்கும்." Everybody must do their duty properly. It was the duty of the monkey to come and take the bananas. It was offered. So he came and took away the bananas. What do you expect the monkey to do? The attendant should have been probably a little more vigilant and seen that he did not take it away. It was really such an amusing, I couldn't help smiling. And one more thing which I think, I don't know, many people might have experienced it, but I would like to mention, is that my father always used to ask us to wait outside near the well when Bhagavan came out of his bath. See, in the early morning when Bhagavan has his bath and comes out, you must have seen his body to understand what I am saying. See, the first time I saw it, I was surprised. I could not believe my eyes because his body seemed to emanate a glow, like the glittering of gold. Actually, you could see the sort of rays, I mean, nobody would probably believe it, but I've seen it in my own eyes, and that is why I'm saying one has to see the radiance all round to believe it. It was really awe-inspiring. That's why I think my father always insisted that we should come and stand there and watch. And he came out of that bath. I don't know if you know the topography, you know that when the bathroom was there and he comes out of the well and he comes and the early morning light falls on him. That thing. I mean, looking at a person who is almost naked, in the sense that he had only a loin cloth, I mean, anybody would not feel very happy about it. But in his presence, it was something which is entirely different. I mean, it was an experience which one should undergo to understand it. And one other thing I'd like to mention is, of course, it's been mentioned, but that Bhagavan remembered his devotees very well. And morning, you see, when the tabal, what they used to call it the tabal then, it is called the post. When the post and the paper and everything came, first it used to be given to Bhagavan, and then after he finishes reading it and goes through the post, then it is sent to the office. So, as usual, the paper had come, and he used to glance through the paper every day. So, one day, when he went through the paper, he found some postings. I don't know how he went through, why it interested him or what. But anyway, he went through the postings and he found my father's name there. So, in Tamil, he said, Namba Saminathan posting vandirukku. See, Namba means, our Saminathan. So, after a few days, I found two well-known devotees, Dr. Srinivasa Rao, whom I also know. His granddaughter was my classmate. And some other person whom I don't remember. They came home and then they told my father, Bhagavan mentioned your name particularly and said, Namba Swaminathan posting vandirukku, because, naturally it brought a lot of happiness to my father. So they came to tell him that. Not only that, he observes his devotees very carefully, because on another occasion, when my father was not there, somebody remarked, Swaminathan Varala, he has not come today. Bhagavan seems remarked, எப்பவுமே அவர் கும்பல் இருந்தா வரமாட்டாரு. He won't come when there is a crowd. So he had noticed it, you see. So everybody was really surprised. I think this is an experience which I don't think anybody here would have had, because it was in 1949 when Bhagavan had been operated for the tumor, and the doctors had come from Madras for the dressing, and it so happened that even I knew him and my father knew the doctor, and I was a medical student at that time. So my father requested him whether I could be allowed inside the hall when the dressing was being changed. So they allowed me inside the hall, and the doctors were there, and they were starting to remove the bandage, and I really, even thinking about it, it makes me upset, because the wound was so huge, extending right from the shoulder to the elbow. It was a raw wound. It was angry, red, and the gauze was sticking on to the wound like anything. It was all blood-stained. It was a fibrosarcoma. It was a vascular tumor, as you know. And even the doctors who were removing, were looking at Bhagavan's face to see whether they were causing him too much pain, because with that adhesions and the gauze had to be removed very carefully. It was a very, very painful experience for anybody. But the whole area was raw, red and frightening. While I was squirming in anticipation of the severe pain Bhagavan must be undergoing, his face and eyes were calm. There was no movement of any part of his body. He could have been in another world, totally blissfully unaware of what was happening to his arm. I think this is one instance where I can categorically state that no ordinary human being would have been so calm and indifferent when such an extensive raw area was being dressed. One could see the doctors were squirming and watching Bhagavan in anticipation of the pain they would be causing. But Bhagavan sat like a rock, smiling. His attitude, his calm, his indifference was amazing, breathtaking. I have no words to describe his indifference. Even if one watched it, the extensive, raw, angry red wound, one would squirm or shout. How he sat through all that, about half an hour or more, was unimaginable. It was evidence enough that he was no ordinary human being. I don't think I don't think anything more was necessary to indicate his divinity. I don't remember, but my elder sister tells me I came out crying out of the hall, saying, he cannot be an ordinary human being. He must be divine. He must be a god in human garb. I don't